You're watching Barnstable This Morning. Joining me now is Ed O'Toole. He is the director for Twelfth Night. It's a presentation or a production that is happening here at Cape Cod Community College.
Right.
I know you recently retired from Barnstable High School Drama Club.
That's
and
right.
Being a teacher at Barnstable High School. What made you want to get back in the action and come over here to Cape Cod Community College?
I think everybody just likes to keep his or her hand in the game, and when the opportunity came along and they said they wanted to do 12th Night, I said, oh, I've heard of that, and maybe I can help them out with that. So it's been a great experience.
Now, is this a group of students putting on 12th Night, or are there other people involved?
The core of the cast and the production team, or the crew, is drawn from the rehearsal and performance class. And but we had open auditions, and we have students who are currently at the community college, also some alums, and a couple of theater veterans from community theater and so forth. So it's a kind of it's a motley crew.
I like it. It must be really fun for some of these people too, who have maybe graduated from Cape Cod Community College and get to come back. What an experience, because sometimes you miss that sort of thing.
Oh, sure. And there is a great deal of camaraderie, and I compare it to being, part of a sports team where everybody, to steal from Belichick, you do your job, and with any luck, it all comes out in the end, and it becomes this precision timed instrument that just brings entertainment to people. But yeah, and it's fun to be part of this, something bigger than yourself.
I think 12th Night is probably one of the Shakespeare plays that I am really not familiar with. Tell me a little bit about it.
So sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, it's about a woman who disguises herself as a man, and she goes to work for a man who sends her to a woman that he loves in disguise as a man, to tell that woman that he loves her, but the woman doesn't love him. She winds up falling in love with the messenger, who's the woman disguised as a man, and the woman disguised as a man is actually in love with her employer. So there you go.
So it sounds like a fun,
oh no, it's a complete
funny show.
Yeah, it's a complete raucous, funny comedy. It's full of slapstick, and it's really goofy. There are 4 or so comedies that they call Shakespeare's golden comedies, because they're just so full of just love, really. And there's all different kinds of love in this one. Some is unrequited, but there's love between a brother and a sister who are separated and brought back together. There's love from a distance, and there's hidden love, and it's just and very romantic at the end. And
who doesn't like a great romance?
I'm sign me up. Send
and
one my way.
At the same time, I think that's the best mix.
No, it is, and this is and it's a great piece for students because it's an ensemble piece. There are about 6 or 8 meaty parts that have an equivalent number of lines, so it doesn't fall on one person to carry it. It's not like doing Hamlet, and we're using jazz music and original compositions by Cam Hall, who is playing music as the jester in the play, and in that sense, it's just the fun never stops.
So tell us when we can come see it and how to get tickets.
Sure. It's going up on November 3rd, which is Thursday. So we'll have shows on Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. We will also have matinees on Saturday and Sunday at 2. And then the next weekend, we go up on the 10th, which is Thursday. And then we have a show on Veterans Day, to which any service member, current or past, will be admitted for free. And then we have 2 shows on Saturday the 12th, a matinee at 2 and an evening show at 7. And then we close the run on Sunday the 13th at 2 o'clock.
Now, is it tough when how long does it take to get the show ready and work the lines and get all the actors ready and the stage? I mean, the set's got to be a big deal as well.
This has been a great communal experience because I have Matthew Kohler, who's a well-known Cape-wide set designer, who did the set, and he's done the lights. And of course, there's a team here of people, Vanna Trudeau, Kendra Murphy, Brian Rice, who just know everything about theater. Everything I don't know, they know, and that's a lot. And between them and the student crew, it has so far knocked particle board. It really has gone smoothly. For the students who are in the play, it's a challenge to do Shakespeare because of the unfamiliarity with the language, but you know what? Over the years, I've found that students say Shakespeare is actually in many ways more easy to memorize than contemporary dialogue because of the beauty of the language, the images, and the rhythm. So we started in about September 20th or so, give or take a day, and they're up to snuff now. We had a great run through last night, so we're really looking forward to it.
What do you hope attendees take away from the experience of attending that play?
Well, a few things. One, and I guess these are the same that I always have felt over the years that I've been doing this. One, from a theatrical point of view, I suppose, we want to show that Shakespeare is for everybody and that there's something in every single play for anybody, young to old, and that it's not unapproachable. And I also want people to leave saying, wow, look at what these students do. Now, these are students from your own communities, from your own high schools, some from off Cape, and they have set themselves a goal and said, I can reach that goal. And I'm very proud of them for that, and I think we need to see just what our young people can do. And the third thing is the arts. I mean, this is arts education, and there's so much that's involved in putting on a play, from memorizing the lines to designing costumes to painting the set to working on the lights and so forth. And people forget the importance of the arts in everyone's lives. This is an enriching experience. If you leave here after laughing for 2 hours or going to a serious Shakespeare play and coming out and feeling moved in another way, it takes you out of the world for a while. And this is a world lately that it's been a little crazy.
That's right. We could all use a little bit of a break, a little bit of laughter, a little bit of entertainment. Yeah. And thank you so much for telling us all about the show. And I can't wait to meet members of the cast.
Great. And they're here anxious to meet you. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, everybody.
I have with me some actors in the 12th Night cast, Shauna Joseph and Cameron Hall. Thank you both so much for joining me. What made you want to be a part of this production?
Well, I've been in several productions here at the college, and I thought that doing Shakespeare would be a good challenge because I've only done it once before at this college, and it was a Scottish play, and it was very, very challenging to take on Shakespearean dialect, and I wanted to revisit that challenge 2 years later.
How about you, Shauna?
I really love theater. I've been doing it for pretty much my entire life, and I major in theater, and I want to do it for the rest of my life, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to just act on the stage again after a year of taking it off. And I mostly do tech stuff, but this has been like a really great experience getting to do Shakespeare for the first time and getting to learn a whole new different form of acting. And I love being on the stage, so it's a really great experience.
Is it tiring? Because I think by the time you put in so many hours practicing, learning those lines, and the shows themselves, are you typically exhausted after a production like this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It kills you and brings you back to life. And it's cool to hit your stride while you're doing it, to get your second wind, and once you're comfortable with your lines and you know where to go and you know who you're working with and what to expect from it, there's a rush that you can get something different from with every performance. You know, it's got an arc. In the beginning, you're riding the high of doing it in the first night, and it's so adrenaline pumping, and then you strive to maintain that energy, and it varies like an ebbing and flowing tide, and you just get to see how it changes your life over the period of time that you really start from auditions to final strike of the set. It's very introspective and a great bonding experience amongst cast and crewmates, and there's just so much to take away from it. It's like months after it's all said and done, you feel the momentum of the entire experience.
Now, were either of you familiar with Twelfth Night before getting involved in the production?
Yeah, I mean, I read it in high school, and so I knew the story and everything like that, but I kind of had forgotten it, and also, like, being in high school, it's a little bit harder to understand what you're, like, reading and everything, and it's a whole different thing when you're reading it just for a class versus performing it, because when you perform the lines and everything, you need to know exactly what you're saying, because the audience needs to know what you're saying and everything. So it's a whole new, like, perspective, and, I mean, it's good to kind of revisit that story and get more things that I missed when I was reading it in high school.
What do you think that attendees of the play will take away from the play, or what do you think they'll enjoy most?
You can take liberties with the environment that Shakespeare dabbles with. I mean, of course, you would expect to have the Renaissance exposition, all of the things that you would associate the bard with. But you know, we've got a New Orleans Mardi Gras style theme going on, and it's interesting how you can mix and match things. I mean, of course, the dialogue is going to be what it is, and you're going to have the drama and the humor of it maintain the same for every show, but you can do some really crazy stuff with Shakespeare, which I love. It's a very open template.
Wonderful. Well, you guys, good luck. Thank you so much for joining me, and can't wait to check it out. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.